Confirmation hearing for President Donald Trump's Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh continued for a second day with the Senate Judiciary Committee. The nominee shared his views on abortion rights and executive powers of the president. When asked about his thoughts on judicial independence from the executive branch, an area of concern with respect to the Trump presidency, he replied, and I quote, "No one is above the law in our constitutional system. Under our system of government, the executive branch is subject to the law, subject to the court system. It is an important part of the constitutional structure." Kavanaugh refused to say if he believes a sitting president could be subpoenaed. He, however, shared his thoughts on the contentious issue of assault weapons, saying he follows Supreme Court precedents on the issue, specifically as they relate to the Second Amendment, though he admitted that it doesn't mean that a gun regulation is not permissible. Kavanaugh's confirmation appears likely, especially as Republicans control the Judiciary Committee as well as the Senate, and a rule change last year means that Kavanaugh will only need a simple majority in his favor to secure his seat on the court. Thousands of people have been evacuated and a major international airport in western Japan, Kansai Airport, closed following the deadly typhoon Jebi that has rocked the country for a second day. About 3,000 passengers were stranded overnight, some for more than 18 hours in terminals without power, before ferries and speedboats were deployed to evacuate them on Wednesday. The airport is built on a man-made island and is linked to the mainland by the bridge, which became cut off when an ocean tanker hit and damaged it. Jebi is Japan's most powerful storm in 25 years and has killed at least 10 people so far, a figure that is expected to rise. Besides the human damage, the typhoon has left behind a trail of damage to infrastructure, ripping off roofs, overturning vehicles, and cutting power. 2 Russian nationals have been named as suspects in the attempted murder of former Russian spy Sergei Skripal and his daughter Yulia. Crown Prosecution Service Director of Legal Services Sue Hemming said there is sufficient evidence to charge Alexander Petrov and Ruslan Boshirov over the attack in Salisbury. Both men are thought to have been using the name as aliases and are about 40 years. Mr. Skripal and his daughter were poisoned with nerve agent Novichok in March 2018. Bosnian police used pepper spray on Wednesday to disperse hundreds of war veterans protesting in Sarajevo, demanding a law be adopted granting them more benefits. Special police forces carrying helmets and shields confronted the veterans of the 1990s Bosnian War who blocked the city center during a protest walk. Some protesters said they were hit by rubber bullets and others bitten with batons. Police said 4 officers were injured and 2 protesters detained before the crowd dispersed. Local media reported that dozens of veterans were sickened by the spray and given medical assistance. The ex-soldiers have repeatedly protested after the regional parliament failed to finalize adoption of a law granting them wider benefits, including higher payouts and free medical treatment.